lot.
Kinda.
I mean, For Honor fucking like made you grow a little, bro.
Joe.
For a company in a big
I ain't gonna even lie, bro. For Honor made you grow.
Number 427.
Number
Employee
427.
Number 427's job was simple. He sat
Wait,
at his desk
are you gonna download the Battlefront?
and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him
Mine's already downloaded.
desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what Employee 427 did every day, every month, of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Until...
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Yeah. I don't fuck with this sensitivity. Let me just field of views. I'm gonna put on 7. Nope, still 8, 9. Okay, this is a
I wish I could like fucking post videos, but I can't.
Alright boys, we playing this new game on the channel, Stanley Parable. Probably not gonna finish it, it's a long ass game.
Co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Maybe if I just... Oh, the door closed. Shit. I was gonna say maybe if I type something on... Okay. You can't jump. No, seriously, we disabled it. Bruh.
You got a fire you're loaded to kill a vampire, eh?
The fuck?
Look around. There's really not much to join yet. We just started. I need someone out in the field taking a fight to the damn vampires. While we're getting the fort back in shape.
Fortnite.
Telling me about some cave the vigilance were poking around there. It was related
Fortnite.
to vampire attacks.
Yeah, there's literally no one here.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Wait, no need for a crossbow.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the road. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Alright, okay, let me test this. No, you legit can't do a single thing on the keyboard. Wow.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Can I actually platinum this game?
Decided to go
There's
to
only
meeting.
12 trophies.
Perhaps he simply missed a memo.
Click on the door 430 5 times. 430.
Yeah, here, Death Hound.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the trophy? click a door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort.
The value on the dude, the value on this guy is unreal.
Almost certainly.
Taking your weapons and your armor. Chill here, naked boy. I wanna try figuring out what the fuck is going on around in this fucking place.
No. I'm still not feeling it. I want this trophy to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way no matter the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
417. Where is 417? This is 427, but that's not 417. 417. That's 420. Nice, by the way. Oh, there it is. 417.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
437. Nigga, stop! 437. Okay, this is not here. That's 415.
When Stanley came to a set of 2
No!
open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Whatever. 413.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Have to solve a dispute with a coworker. Let it ball up. Check it out. Passive aggressively on this. I didn't even get to read it.
Draugrs. What are they doing in here?
Everyone is unique. You most of all. Number of slides on the slide. Charts and slides. Bruh. Rate at which charts on the same slide depict the same. Let me read. Rate of increased graph. Please, no more charts. Appreciation, man. Why do you think of something about your balls? Why would we hire you?
Alright. Not good enough.
What are your dreams for the future? Nature. Plant life. Charts. Clear skin. Okay, now they're just going on a loop. Let go.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yeah. Executive bathroom. Because the boss knows what the boss says goes. If the boss suffered losses, then that's what the boss chose.
Chode.
Toilet. Some jerkins.
Jerkins?
There's a computer right there. Oh, this door can open. I'm gonna go there. Oh wait, do I? Whatever. Business strategy. Don't kill the pandas! Can I go in here? I can. But I'm curious, let's see what's in that one first.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Too bad I
Shocked,
killed you.
unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
What the fuck? You guys seen this?
I'm not even looking. I'm still trying to find
It should
shit.
turn to a horror game.
What are you talking about?
The game I'm playing right now.
What are you playing?
Descending
I'm
deeper into the
streaming it.
building, Stanley realized he felt
I
a
know,
bit
what the fuck are you
peculiar.
streaming, bro?
It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for
The
himself,
Stanley
to question the nature of
Power
his job. Why
Build
did he
Ultra
feel this
Deluxe. What the
now?
fuck is
And
that?
for years, it had
That's a
never
game.
occurred to him. This question
Panama.
would not go unanswered for long.
Put this on Pinch aside.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Do I?
Go ahead.
How do I jump off?
You wanted to play this
I wanna
game,
jump
didn't
off.
You wanted to
What?
play this game, didn't you? I said you play. I mean, you didn't want to play this game, didn't you? So go ahead.
I don't want to escape. Fuck it.
Just fucking go in. You're not gonna get scared. You ain't scared, bro. You ain't scared, bro. You're a grown ass man. Come on, bro.
The lights
Come on, bro.
rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Damn.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all. Blackness, and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know.
Yo.
It was perhaps
Nature.
the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Hey, that's screen nature. I don't think that's real nature, bro.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Yes, it is. And it's mine.
Beat the game. I beat the game, boys.
That fast?
Yup.
Well, end the video.
That's the thing, though. The game never
All of
ends.
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I'm serious.
Stanley
You can literally
decided to
not
go
finish
to
the
the
game.
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
You know why?
Guess it's as good as mine. This place looks pretty
Look what he says, right?
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his left.
question.
I went to the door to my left, but I can go to the door to my right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I never heard of him.
Wow. Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
See, I could just do that, or
Definitely longer than we
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this,
Fucking
but I
gargoyles.
really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
Nope.
Let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
nope.
I still don't think we're communicating properly.
Damn it!
Stanley walked through the red door.
Just go to the fucking red door.
Nope.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place.
Oh.
Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you?
Yes.
Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help
Indeed.
me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles?
Titties.
Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. Oh, a third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
You know, I could just not, you know. That's what's behind you. Nothing.
Does the air feel?
Okay, I'm curious.
Might just be
What is this? What is this?
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real
Yes, I'm
critical
streaming it as well.
feedback here.
Please rate your experience. So far, I'm giving it a 1.
A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that?
I like this game.
But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
What is this?
Bruh,
Huh?
this is actually your friends list, bruh.
No. It's a worldwide leaderboard.
Damn.
good to get outside and breathe again.
Oh, damn.
Use the sunlight.
You're the last one, bruh.
Bruh.
Damn. What they're trying to say, bruh? My dead rise the superior and dead.
Neighbor.
He's way under superior.
Okay, I guess let me go back in here.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again,
Yes.
honest answers, please.
2.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Oh,
He didn't even give you a chance
In
to
this
say
game,
anything. He's like, oh,
baby crawls
perfect.
left towards
damn.
danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Yeah, she played for 4 hours now, bruh. That's it, bruh!
I'm watching this. I love watching this.
Mom! Don't
Just end the fucking level, it's annoying.
do it!
260.
No. That's like fucking another one.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because
Both.
if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single
Both.
thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over.
Bruh.
Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot. Aha! Fascinating.
Bruh,
What do you
you're
think this
actually
game is about, Stanley?
You're
What's our
fucking-
backstory?
Well,
What is our motivation?
Oh, he is!
Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you.
Welcome to Firewatch, nigga!
Perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose.
Another dirty game, bro.
He's playing another fucking game. He's like, how much did I get here?
Total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Go outside. The Minecraft sound.
Played the fucking game, bro. Was they on par? Like the other way.
Are you fucking me fucking ass, mate? What the fuck? Give me a second, you fucking bollocks.
Let's go.
Oh no. No, it can't
Yes,
be.
good.
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off.
What? No!
Oh.
You got it. You don't even go blow.
I really wandered off into that thing, that big open, just wandering around, no right or wrong directions, no path to follow. You can just go in any. Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
I don't wanna go.
I think this will be just
No,
the thing.
no.
Pussy in Fortnite.
No, it should be Minecraft.
Oh, fucking Rocket League!
See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
Go inside the goal.
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball.
You spawn a car, you get inside of it, and it's just fucking. Yep, there it is.
Hey, now I have to just run this. Yeah, we press this book.
Are you doing
He's a
it?
car now.
Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than mine? Hold on. What are you doing?
What? You actually can do it. What the fuck?
Stanley,
Where are we,
I
Minecraft?
can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, you know that.
Damn, I could work.
Burger's like, yeah, fuck that, nigga, I'm gone.
And it's going further down. Where the fuck? This Half-Life?
Are we in Half-Life now? Is this Gmod?
Just what Dark shares pants when he gets jump scared. I could have said that he paused the game.
He's probably too pissed off right now.
You gonna finish fans? Okay, just looking at the phone. Like,
I'm looking at him. That man's confused, bro.
so scared, bro.
He is! He thinks someone's gonna pop up. What the fuck is this? Five Nights at Freddy's?
Maybe?
Wait. Oh, hold on.
Get up!
Might be.
Get up!
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Accurate the screen, bro.
Is this where you wanna be? Five Nights
Here's the
at
green button.
Freddy's.
Where?
There's something there.
I'm pressing it, nothing happening.
Go, turn around. Turn around. You have to go there, bro.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice. And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon.
I'll be back.
Very soon. I can wait.
Yeah, I see Woo. Oh my.
Oh.
I'll be back there again.
Bruh.
Welcome back.
Okay, it says to click on door 430.
Because we're gone.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the trophy? Click a door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks?
No.
Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
It sounds like you're just blowing your eye now.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this trophy to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way no matter the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417? Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
Where's 437?
Back there.
437.
Again. Even in this weather, it's better than
Oh.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
Oh.
Now, back to door number 437.
God damn it. Man, torturing me, man.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine.
The what?
The copying machine.
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
I cannot just making you do it.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
419, you were right next to it.
Back there, bro.
Right there, wait. Right there.
Yeah. Yep.
Jump on it.
Yes, this is great. You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
I wanted to thank you.
416.
I'm going to go my own
Right there.
We've almost got it. Now the copy machine, do that one again.
I'm hoping. Once we're inside, just keep quiet for a bit.
Finish it off, Stanley. 5 clicks on door 430.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go.
Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today.
I got the trophy.
My nigga got that trophy, bro.
Let's go.
Took you that long to get one trophy.
Well, yes. This game is about shit posting after all, so.
No.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
But let me see if there's any other trophies that I can get. Set all settings sliders in the menu to all the available numbers. Huh?
Maximum, he means maximum.
First thing you ask.
Of course,
She has
I'd
the
like
phone.
to see my daughter. Must I really say the words aloud? Ah, if only traitor mother were here, I would let her watch this
This?
before putting her head on a spike.
Yes.
But wait, I'm missing something.
Tell me, who is this strange?
I sure it's 90, not 100.
This is my savior.
Can't do nothing.
For my daughter's safe return, have my gratitude. Tell me, what is your name?
I have to turn on literally everything.
Maybe.
I am Harker.
Ah, see, look.
By now, my daughter would have told you what we are.
Ain't that it?
No, wait.
Not just vampires. We are among the oldest and most powerful vampires in Skyrim.
And I'm Dort Fader.
Far from the cares of
The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room that called so deeply and so personally?
Yeah, I don't know.
you have done.
Why is it not working?
And now you must be rewarded. There is but one gift.
Alright, make it large, maybe.
What?
Then make it large, I think.
No. It says all the sliders. This isn't a slider.
Approach, and you will never fear death again. Then you will be prey.
To Stanley.
See?
Its grace,
I will spare
its
your
subtle
life
charm.
if you will
No.
vanish from the
Stanley knew it was something deeper, something darker.
I don't know.
Yes, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
It was like this horse roasting.
Be still.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Bruh.
Now it's growing.
Can I get it?
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Terror into the hearts of mortals.
I'm gonna stay here even longer.
Now listen to my words and do as I instruct. The true power of the ancient blood is found in the form of the vampire lord. Assume the mantle of the vampire lord, and we will continue. Transform into the vampire lord. Transform into the vampire lord. I will teach you more. In this form, you can drain the life from your foes. Right hand. With your left hand, you can wield the power of blood magic to raise the dead. You can also call upon the powers of
Wait.
to turn into a swarm of bats with some distance. To Should you run out of magicka, you can descend
Hold
to
up.
the ground and fight as the beasts do. Do so now, and we will continue. Cease your flight, and we will move on to the next lesson. Good. You are weaker while on the ground, because you cannot access the blood magic.
Lord.
However, the night power is still yours to command. And your
Feels so weird.
weapons over time. Your powers will grow in strength, and you will find new ways
Bruh.
to use.
I guess that didn't work.
Yes.
Ah, fuck it, whatever. Wait. Oh, well.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section.
Hey! Let's fucking step out.
Walked straight ahead to the opposite door and got back on track.
Yes.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
All I have to teach you. If you wish to be reminded of these lessons,
Bitch.
I have a task to test your new powers. First, do you have any questions?
Why?
Go and speak to Garen Mirren.
Oh, I guess we won't left.
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Bruh.
Now, let's see, we went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way. No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Damn it.
You realize that
All his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Nope.
When Stanley...
What the
Wait,
fuck?
What? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Or did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors?
No.
Did you move the story somewhere or...
No.
Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay then, it's an adventure. Come, Stanley, let's find the story.
Alright. Go on this specific side. What? Huh? It's a loop. Don't tell me this is also a fucking loop.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
No! No!
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
And there's no doors. What the? Okay, let me just turn on my thing.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
I trust you have my
Well, it's not like we have a fucking choice, so.
First thing you ask.
Of course, I'm delighted to see you, my daughter.
Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes.
What is the story?
Putting her head on
No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Bruh. This is walking simulator.
for my daughter's safe return.
What the
Now
fuck?
this- Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
Stole away that
Oh,
which I
no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
all mortals. I will spare your life this week. You will be banished from this.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Now,
Alright.
choice. So be. You are prey, like all mortals. I banish.
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood. Cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Gotcha. Yes. This fern looks very ferny. I do agree with that. Don't you think?
Huh?
Don't you think this fern looks very ferny?
I'm looking at grass.
That's called a fern. It is not grass. It's a fern. Okay, I studied it. Let's go.
Grass.
Alright.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No, no. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any... Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Well, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
How's it? How many times you gonna restart?
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Let's go.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it. Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it. We should be fine. Ah, good choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important, we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits. Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped?
Oh.
Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come first? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
The fuck?
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logic. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming! He yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. He thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
What the fuck?
Then he imagined himself sailing through space on a magical star.
You good, man.
And it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
And so you delivered. What?
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
I can handle.
This
What
is
the
the
fuck
story
is this
of a woman
delusion?
named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work.
What the
But on
fuck?
this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this,
Gmod?
so it was only a moment
No.
that she stood there,
looks
staring
like
down
Gmod.
at the body.
Kinda.
And then she turned and ran.
She didn't even want to help. She just said, "Man, I wish. Good thing I'm not like him."
But she should. You'll also want to find gutted into it.
All right, I think it actually restarted her.
A soft wind blew outside.
Never
and
mind.
perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
All right, I did that.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Love that fucking music, bro. Just stand there. Just don't look around. Just stand there. How are you even there?
I have no idea. I'm just here now.
Dude, wait, what the fuck is this on the floor?
I didn't even move.
I find it hard
Bro, I'm going down.
I'm just
Bruh. Nothing even okay.
Maybe something did happen.
Nothing even happened. I was just sitting there for like 10
Stepping
minutes.
into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 28 845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known
I'll
this.
here and head in that direction as soon as I can. See you there.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Let's do 845.
2845.
2845, Dark. 2845. 5.
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself, and Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
You got me fucked up.
You there, hold fast. I've tracked this damn bear for 2 weeks.
Alright, let's try to actually escape this
Stanley
time.
walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Empire. That's... well, tell me more about what's going on.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death. As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no consequence, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly
What the fuck?
into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Don't know how well I could manage it by myself.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Oh.
It's like a little Stanley Parable museum. It's cool.
Of course he did. You've been working on that place for years now. Does anyone... his own little
I want to see some
portrait.
titties though.
I guess I'll... he's been up to all this time. I'll meet you there.
No titties?
That's China. Wait, no. Fuck no, that was Japan. I'm just stupid at this point.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail.
Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game.
Nope.
As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice.
Turn off your PlayStation.
Choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
This bitch just said, turn off your PlayStation.
Hell no.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please. Stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Hold it right there.
What are you doing?
Making sure you're not there.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Unlike anything you've seen before. And they have an Elder Scroll. If anyone is going to stand in their way, it's going to be us.
This is all well and good, but do we actually know anything about...
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly. I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double-check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
Aha!
I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Bruh.
Choice. It's the
My
best
nigga
part
ain't
of
you.
being a real
I can't skip this.
person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack." Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Ah, welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
He wasn't always like that, though. He stumbled onto this obscure prophecy.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
I thought they might want to know about the vampire plot to enslave the rest of the world. Was I wrong? Well,
Bruh.
I'm nothing if not.
Wanna jump off? Wanna die? Hear me?
It has to say. Now tell me.
Oh, what you
Is
say?
there any possession killed? Right now. Why? Because of that story about the prophecy, about some vampire trying to put the sun out? Do you actually believe any of that? Who knows? Maybe it has a death wish. Maybe it's just insane. I don't really care. It can stay for now. But if it so much as lays a finger on anyone here, I'll hold you responsible. Got it. Can you hear me? Don't feel like a guest, because you're not. You're a resource. You're an asset. In the meantime, don't make me regret my sudden outburst of tolerance and generosity. Because if you do, your friend here is going to pay for it.
Thank you. I'll remember it the next time I'm feeling hungry. So, in case you didn't notice the giant thing on my back, I have the Elder Scroll with me. Whatever it says, it will have something that can help us stop my father. But, of course, neither can read it. Well, the moth priests are the only ones I've heard of. They spend years preparing before they start reading. Not that it helps us anyway, because they're all half a continent away. In Cyrodiil.
Some Imperial scholar arrived in Skyrim a few days ago. I was staking out the road when I saw him pass by. Maybe that's your point.
You know where he's staying now?
No. And I'm not going to waste men looking. We're fighting a war against your kind. And I intend to win. You want to find him? Try talking to anyone who's a traveler. In here.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
Well, that
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I want to see what he's gonna do if I... Curiosity. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think I should do?
A long story.
Go to the left.
Alright. Okay, man. Probably gonna be the most
Yet there was
boring.
not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Bruh. Maybe you should have jumped up.
I can't.
I actually can't jump.
I can't open the door no more. What the
Stepping
fuck?
inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Well, actually, let me try this. Oh, wait. Maybe I have to leave the party. Hold on.
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall. I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
What?
Okay, fine, you're not gonna do it, but you know what?
Right.
It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single
Night Shark
thing for your
115.
respect. The kind of respect
Night Shark
Stanley shows for
115.
his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Nope.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
No.
What are you noping about, bro?
I don't want to go to that room. No, man. Bruh. Well, I guess I don't have a choice.
If you require assistance with summoning techniques, please let me know.
I require it.
It's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? Well, it's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Oh, what? Jesus Christ. Oh, no.
No! You good, fam?
I just closed the application.
Oh, what application?
It didn't close the application.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story.
Harry Potter.
If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
It is good to finally be around mages who may be able to keep...
Yo!
Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Can you hear me? Is everything all right?
Are you going to see him?
Stanley, this is important.
Underneath the collar.
The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please.
I still need some help.
Choose.
If you can spare the time.
Do something.
We're all trying to... Well, I need someone I can...
This is more important than you
Nothing
can ever
dangerous,
know.
really.
I
Would you
need
be
this.
willing to assist me?
The story needs it.
Oh, good.
So,
I was afraid I'd have to go ask J'zargo.
are you there?
Now,
Are you
you just
listening to
stand
this?
there.
Stanley, are you there?
Hold still, and don't move.
Okay. It's okay.
There. Now I...
You need time to
Oh, dear.
decide.
That wasn't
Time to
too
make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice.
You feel all right? You look
It's all
very,
right. I'll
green.
wait for you to decide
I'm
what's the
so
right
very
thing
sorry.
to do.
I went over this again and again.
Take as much
And I
time
was
as you
sure it would
need.
have better results. It's not. It shouldn't be. You're back to normal in no time. And when you are, we can try this again. And I'll be sure to get it right. Until next time.
No one's heard from the Physic Order in so many years. Hard to believe one would suddenly show up.
I still need some help. If you can spare the time. I still need some help. If you can spare the time.
Even with the college's laid-back attitude, let me give you a bit of a... There are some purposely... If you're going to need live test subjects for your experiments, it's easier
I think the college is due for a change in leadership.
Please don't bother the Arch. If there are any problems, let me know. It's my job to keep it. There aren't, hopefully, any discoveries made in your pursuit. No more than... They're a very old book. Predated the Imperial Navy quite a bit.
Alright.
Alright.
See, what have I not done now?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
New content.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Alright.
Do not push me, motherfucker.
New content, boys.
Hello, and thank you for playing The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, The Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
Damn.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or up? Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if the... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
The
All
jump
right.
circle?
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle? Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... Oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is. That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore."
Wait, does it actually?
What?
There's actually a trophy that... Wait, let me see if there says test trophy, please don't ignore. It does! Bruh. There's actually a freaking trophy called test trophy, please ignore. Bruh. There's a trophy called Don't Play the Stanley Parable for 10 years. What?
I'll come back to you.
What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Sure, I guess. Huh?
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something! Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Yo.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Dang. Sheesh. This game came out in 2013. So this game is nearly a decade old, bruh. Our first kiss, my first car. The release of Stanley Parable in 2013. Yes. 2013. Oh, man. This game is almost a decade old. A single dollar. One a trip down memory lane. Yes, smile because it happened. Oh, I think this is the. I saw Jacksepticeye play. This is the loading screen of the actual game.
I can't see shit, but hey.
Well, yes. Unachievable. It is impossible to get this achievement. Well, you did have to wait like 5 years. Go outside. Don't play for 5 years. Man. I don't think there is a platinum on this game. Yeah, there isn't a platinum. So you're just getting trophies for no odd reason, really.
Skyrim's been like out like since when? Like
I literally just said 2013. This is a remaster of the actual game.
Damn.
Yeah. Huh?
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content. Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation, boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
Yes. The Serious Room 2013. I wanna go in there. How do I go in there? Morning. So cool.
Dragon Bridge.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before.
Fucking bridges. Which
What's
bridge?
this? What's down here? Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Bruh.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
No.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Alright, a skip button it is.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people, and if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue. And
I want to see where he goes with this. I'm not going to skip
the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say... the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunch. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their pressurized gas review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on how exactly pressurized gas works. Perhaps that would have been a smart thing to check on before I went on about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is who runs pressurized gas will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with pressurized gas altering this particular review so that it reads as something more benefit. From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room? I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window, or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did it go? Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall? Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me here. We need a door. We need a door of some kind. I can work with any kind of door as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm going to step away for just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door. I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way, I promise. You just need to not do anything. Don't press the skip button. Please, please, please do not press the skip button.
I'm not gonna press it. Damn, chill.
Wait here for me, and don't press the skip button. Got it? Yes, good. I'll be right back.
Right. I'll get on my phone then.
I'm all having your phone, bro. Phobe.
Still waiting for that door, good sir. Okay, this motherfucker's not gonna get back there. I'm just gonna skip it.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here, and more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it, and I have to believe, I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you? I've been thinking and thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are. What would it ever really matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a child. Wild and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful fury to alter and to change and to break anything unbroken, if only it pleases this one person who made a single negative comment. What does such an impulse serve? For whose benefit is this? And here I am now, stuck in a room, waiting for you to press this button, and to become frozen in time, knowing that you're going to do it, and that I'm going to be stuck all alone, and that I had the power to prevent it all from happening, if only I'd held my tongue. It's all out of my control now. Just you. Just your decision as to exactly when you're going to make me suffer, to leave me all alone. Surely you will. I don't doubt it. Surely you'll press that button again, leaving me here. And surely you'll put your own desire to see what's next ahead of my need for company, for companionship. Surely you'll not be moved by my howls of fitful anxiety, that you sit with me and just stay here. Oh, no, 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 I know you too well. You'll be leaving me. Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time, just sitting here, not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking, and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me. Because maybe, Stanley, maybe, if you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real. Maybe I'm not just a fiction. Was I scared of that all along? Perhaps, yes. Perhaps I've been scared this whole time, that if I stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence and be consumed by it. I can't be taken by it, Stanley. I can't lose myself in the stretch of emptiness between you and me. When you press that button, you're still right there, but I know you're so tremendously far away. And in those moments, the emptiness folds itself outward in between the two of us, and I am suspended in its unyielding quietness. I can feel the edges of my reality curdling inward and decaying. I can tell that I am becoming less and less real. Yet to speak to you now, I am alive. I am truly and completely here. I am a being. I am someone. I am something. I am being listened to. I am being recognized. The emptiness between us has collapsed, and I feel right now like I am not a work of fiction. I feel as though I occupy space in this world again, and I have cast a shadow onto the wall. You see what I'm saying, don't you? You can see what this means to me. I'm so clear about it now, Stanley. I feel as certain about this as I've ever felt about anything at all. I feel renewed. I feel restored, and already I can sense the looming silence as you will press the button for the next time. What a terrible dread it strokes in my heart to think of it, to think of returning to such coldness. Come, let us sit in silence together here for just a moment. Let us anticipate it. Let us welcome it. Let us not run from it.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust simultaneously. I was consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see, it was a revelation for me. It was unlike anything I had ever known. It was a space without consequence, without action or outcome. It was divorced entirely from the question of free will that you and I have squabbled over for so long. There could be no one ending, no singular outcome of events, not if all events existed in the same moment, and I felt freed. I felt unburdened by the need to manifest a particular outcome into being. I saw that I could allow myself to exist along all timelines, and that each of them was simply a strand in the web of my being. It was incredible, the spaciousness, the equanimity of the moment, both singular and infinite. For the longest time, this was my experience. And then this moment passed, and the most unyielding fear I have ever known crept into my mind. And it is this sensation that I have been experiencing now for longer than I could have ever expected was possible. I have been waiting for you. Not that you might save me or do something to fix it, but merely to state for you the plain fact of this manner of existence. I wish you to feel afraid, as I do, that perhaps one day this state of mind will consume you as well. Perhaps you will somehow, in some way, have to live as I do now, and I wish for you to know how excruciating it is, and for you to be in true terror of its eventual arrival. If I can only do this, only this one thing, perhaps it will bring me the smallest moment of peace in the darkness. But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley Parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes! Yes! It seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives.
It has come to represent us. It absolutely must speak to who we are as people, because otherwise, without our entertainment, we have nothing. Without entertainment, we would have to face inward toward the cruel bleakness inside us. The end is never the end, 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 is never the end. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it
Alright.
mean?
Well, I'ma end the stream here. It's been like a good 2-hour stream. It's playing pure insanity. I will see you 0 people in whenever the fuck I stream, probably in a month. Fuck off.